I love making earring designs. Why? Instant gratification, can't beat it. Today I'm going to show you how to make earrings out of flat mesh and use it to even beyond earrings. You can use it for component making, little short tassels. Really, this is such a versatile technique, and I'm delighted that I could show it to you. So if you're looking for the materials on what I use for this project, check out the description for this video. I want to welcome you to my channel. My name is Nilay Patel. I'm the owner, designer, and educator at SilverSilk and more, bringing you guys fun and exciting and creative tutorials using my product, SilverSilk. So why don't I pan my camera down and I could show you the tools and materials for this project, and then we're just going to construct it all together. All right, so let's flash this photo. And here is my little workspace. So what I've got here, and I want to kind of cover my tools. First, I've just got a pair of Lindstrom wire cutters. I use these for all my things in jewelry to cut with. So we're talking beading wire, thread, craft wire, SilverSilk. I use it for just about everything except for memory wire. I've got a pair of chain nose pliers from Weber's, and I've also got a pair of round nose pliers, and that's also from Weber's. So those are my tools that I'm going to be using. And then as far as my materials go, this is flat mesh. It is a 6-needle weave that takes wire and knits it into this beautiful, almost 5mm width ribbon. And I love using this stuff for all kinds of projects, and haven't really done much earrings with them, maybe a couple of designs, but yet again, thought of another one that would be exciting. This color that I'm using today is called Amber. So it's a very rich orange, kind of a dark, almost a burnt orange. And it's beautiful for the fall season, but I think this color can kind of creep its way really into any season with your design, just depending on what you mix it with. But I'm using a very orange palette today, so just kind of as reminiscent of fall. I have a couple of head pins here. I've got a couple of earring hooks. And then as far as beads go, I have some pearls that are about 6mm. I've got a couple of Bicone crystals that are, oh, well, I would say, I take that back. I think my pearls are probably 8mm. These are about 6mm. And then I've got about a 12mm, a couple of crystals for those, a little Rondelle crystal. So really, the type of beads you can use is quite versatile, though. If you wanted to go smaller on the beads and have a more daintier piece, then you could certainly do that. Or if you wanted to go with something a bit more robust and big and more statement-y, then you can use bigger beads for this technique as well. So all I'm going to do is take my flat mesh, and I went ahead and cut this into about a, give or take, maybe 3.5 to 4 inches of flat mesh here to work with. So if you've got scraps at home, now's a great time to use them up. And I'm going to take it into my head pin here, but first I'm going to kind of wire wrap it around my bead, because it's going to go right through all of that at once. And so it might be a little intimidating. So really you could just use your fingers as a guide at first. And I've wrapped it halfway through, and I've got a little bit of flat mesh here sticking out. You kind of want to do your best to go through whatever the middle part of that is. If it's a little loose around the bead, like it is here, you can kind of see that it's just right there. That's okay. That is perfectly fine. You can kind of leave it a little bit loose just to have a bit of breathing room. You don't have to be super tight with it. You kind of want to just overlap it and then basically just stick it right through your head pin, and you've got your first bead assembled already with this technique. Now, this next part's a little tricky because we have a smaller bead to work with, but we also have to wrap this all the way through. So what I do is I kind of just grab my bead, and I just want to take a quick measurement of how much of this I'll actually need to be able to wrap this successfully. So it looks like if I twirl this all the way around, I can kind of end it right here. So what I'm going to do is actually knock that bead right off, and I'm going to just position this to where it's right at that point to where I can now string on my bead and then go straight up. And before I go all the way through, I can even cut this back just some. And if you cut some extra flat mesh, then that's a great thing because you could just chop all that off at this point. And then you could just string on your bead again and then go straight through the flat mesh. So a little tricky, but it does give you a very cool effect at the end. It looks like it's completely bezeled all the way around. So you kind of just squeeze all that stuff down. Again, if there's a little bit of wiggle room within your bead, that is perfectly fine. I think it looks super cool that way. So once I've kind of squeezed it down, I'm just going to trim this back a little bit, about a ½ inch above where your beads end. And then I'm just going to do a real quick simple loop just to keep things nice and easy. If you still have a little bit of extra gap there, you can always trim some extra back and continue to do your P-shaped loop for this first part. Once you've gotten to a pretty good size with all of that, you can basically twist that neck back to center your loop, and you've got your first component built. So I'm going to set that one aside, and we're going to do that again with the rest of these beads here. So again, I'm just going to take my bead. I'm going to wrap the first half of my flat mesh around. I think with even bigger beads, this would be much easier to work with. I've got pretty small beads considering, but I am working on an earring in any case, so I kind of want it to be nice and light and dainty. So I'm going to wrap the rest of this around and then just go ahead and poke it right through with my head pin, and then I'm going to string on that last bead there. Oh, you know what I forgot to string on? My pearls. So I've got a lovely component, but I forgot to put my pearls up there, but that's okay. Let's just consider it a modification in the design. You can absolutely string a pearl up there if you wanted to, just like the photo, which I'll flash there at the end, looks like. So here you can, it looks like this wants to go all the way around the bead, so which is perfect. So I'm just going to undo that. I'm going to try and get as close to the edge of this as I can. Okay. Once I've done that, you kind of want your loop to be, it is a little awkward because there needs to be a little bit of a part of that flat mesh that does stick up. And then once you've done that, though, it kind of all just snaps into place perfectly. Okay, and then if you were using the pearls, you'd simply string your pearl on as such, and then you can make your loop here. So why don't I show you two different styles of earrings, one with a pearl and one without, in fact. And then you can kind of pick and choose whichever one you like. I didn't have to clip off any of my head pin there, like I did that other one. But see, you could see the difference. And then if you really want to make it seasonal, then you can absolutely use white beads and white flat mesh, and it would be a cute little snowman even. But you can even take this component and add it to just a piece of SilverSilk chain, and you'd either have a beautiful small dainty pendant, or if you added one to each cord end, you could have a really cool little tassel end even. So there's a lot of different ways to use this technique, and I hope you'll definitely give it a try, whether it be for earrings or for a necklace. And you can, again, just see the difference of whether you add a pearl or not. It's going to look gorgeous either way. And there you have it. So let me flip my camera back around and let me show you, again, that picture of what it looks like. All right, I hope you enjoyed that quick little tutorial. Again, earrings are just a really great instant gratification art piece that you can make, for lack of a better term. And it is truly as intricate or as casual as you want to make it. So again, my name is Nilay Patel. I'm the owner, designer, and educator of SilverSilk and More. I hope you'll give this video a big thumbs up and will subscribe to my channel. And if you're looking for even more inspiration, you can check out and follow my Instagram at SilverSilk and More is the handle for that. So Again, join us in the Silkies group, and they're on Facebook, and we can share our designs together. And again, I hope you found this tutorial creative, fun, and inspiring, and I'll see you at the next one. Mwah.